Welcome to Altenberg, Germany, about 35 miles east of Dresden, Germany, not far from the Czech border for the 4th World Cup of the year. The Sparkasi Cup, second heat, we're going to see of 4-man bobsledding. Good crowd on hand. Germany's a big bobsled country, 4 tracks. Here's the favorites of the competition. 3 World Cup leaders. Andre Lange of Germany, unbelievable. Alexander Zubkov from Russia, Matthias Hoppner of Germany. But it's been Andre Lange. He's been a German juggernaut for almost a year now. The guy hasn't lost in 3 events since last January in St. Moritz. Gold medal at the World Championships in Lake Placid. Gold medal in Calgary last year. Gold medal in Calgary this November to kick off the tour. And then he had another gold medal in Lake Placid. 3 straight gold medals. Now, the Russian, Alexander Zubkov. Bronze medal at the World Championships last year, his big coming out party. He followed up with a bronze medal in Calgary. Now Matthias Hoppner, he's 3rd in World Cup points. He's just breaking in. Won his first World Cup medal in Lake Placid. He's a guy to watch for. Also, Christoph Langen. This guy knows how to win at any track on the planet. 41 years old. This guy is awesome. Don't count him out. American Tade is next up. He was disqualified in Calgary in the first event of the year, but he got a silver in Lake Placid. They expect big things out of Hayes. Here's our World Cup standings. Andre Lange, Zubkov, and Hoppner. The only reason that Langen's not up there, he did not start the Lake Placid event. A couple Swiss, 4th and 5th. Another Russian, 6th, Popov. Pierre Lueders, another North American. He's back in 8th place. Stevie Holcomb from Park City, Utah. He's in 10th place. The U.S. Bob Force. Guys, we're going to see today Stevie Holcomb of Park City, Utah, 23-year-old, one of the youngest on the tour. Todd Hayes, the veteran from Del Rio, Texas. It's the Americans against the rest of the world. Coming up on the Speed Channel. Stay with us.
Call now for your free copy of Car and Driver, the world's largest automotive magazine, with fact, opinion, and tests on the hottest new luxury cars, sports cars, exotics, pickups, vans, and sport utilities. Call now and get your introductory copy risk-free. If you like it, you'll get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for only $11.97. 72% off the newsstand cost. We'll bill you later. If you choose not to subscribe, just return the bill marked cancel. You'll owe nothing. Call now for your free introductory issue.
All work, no play.
Work. They say it doesn't get any easier.
I'm gonna see a better day.
But your day will get a whole lot better with a
Yes.
Rhino lining sprayed on bed liner. Now your truck can work as hard as you do.
It's tough. I'm tough.
Rhino lining's tough stuff protects your truck so you can play hard and it won't break. It's so tough, it's warranted by your dealer to last as long as you own your truck.
Good.
Drop-in liners can trap water underneath, rusting out your truck bed. Water can't get under a Rhino lining.
Go on.
It prevents rust.
13 years, 200,000 miles, and 2 engines, but still the original Rhino lining.
Remember, it's not a genuine Rhino lining without this emblem. So get the toughness of a Rhino's armor to protect your truck. Call now for a free sample of Tough Stuff, information, and the Rhino linings dealer nearest you.
This is my day, baby.
My grandmother passed away this year. She died of cancer, and she smoked her whole life. I'm passionate about not smoking because my parents smoked while I was a child growing up in a house where they would smoke freely and I would get headaches. And I hated it. I hated the smell. I hated the smoke in the air. I couldn't be an elite athlete if I smoked. I couldn't have the stamina. I wouldn't be able to breathe. Parents, don't smoke around your kids. And kids, don't start smoking. It's not cool.
Welcome back to Speed Channel's coverage of World Cup bobsledding. Those are the athletes you're going to see today. The weather, it's overcast, extremely windy. Could affect the competition. Seems like a storm front's moving in. Very volatile conditions here for weather. It can change quickly, and that affects the competition drastically. Hi, everybody. I'm John Morgan with you today on the 4th World Cup bobsled event from Altenberg, Germany. Track records, look at that. Start record way back in '96. Track record, who else but Andre Lange? 54.18. Onboard camera. Now we got a different look for you. The POV front part with the front view that the driver sees, and we got a view back of the sled. Now look at the split in that cowling on the right side. That's the split where the sled is split, and it's the articulation where it allows the sleds to walk on and off the corners. When in this track here in Altenberg, the sled is really maxed out, the articulation. The smoother the sled gets on and off the corner, the fastest your time is at the bottom. Up top, a lot of tight, quick corners. You let the sled accelerate. Labyrinths up here. Sled still falling into almost 72 miles an hour here on the exit of 9. You got to be straight. Pretty dangerous spot. Now in a Kreisel, 270-degree whip around, 3.5 to 4 G's of force. And this is the slingshot effect on the bottom. Look at this quick right, quick left. This has been eating a lot of sleds up in the last couple years on this track. Still accelerating, approaching 78 miles an hour down here. Little uphill section. Now near the finish. 54 seconds in time. It's the champagne of thrills, the bobsledders call it. Here's our first heat highlights. You won't believe what happened. Team Christoph Langen. I've never seen a guy crash in 15 years of competition. The sled's out of control here in the Kreisel. And the German, who's favored to win this event, watch what happens at curve 11. An horrific crash. This is disaster for Germany. You don't see this in bobsled, except on this track. Look at the articulation. Look at the team try and save it. They can't. Over. He will not compete in the second heat, and this German team is disgusted. Everybody got up and walked away. Tells you about the safety about this sport. Matthias Hoffner, though. Here's the guy in 5th place. Expect a little better result out of him. This is his home track. 4th place, biggest surprise of the day. Ivo Dalanovic from Czech Republic. 4th place. He had a good draw early on. First man down the track, took advantage of it. Team Todd Hayes from Del Rio, Texas. They're in 3rd place. Great start time, great speed. The Bodine sled didn't have it on the bottom. They're in 3rd, but lurking closely to a medal, only a couple hundredths behind Pierre Luders of Canada. 2 North Americans here in the top 3. But of course, Langen's not in the race at all. He crashed. And here he is, the German juggernaut. He won the 2-man competition yesterday. He's been unbelievable the last 2 years. Also, besides the fact he's the best competitor out here, he's probably the most well-liked guy. Here's our results, standings after the first run. Lange, he's got a pretty good lead, but look at that. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th separated by 700ths. Those are going to be the races for the medals amongst those 4 sleds. Lange looks like he's pretty comfortable in the lead. Stevie Holcomb of the United States didn't make it into the final 15. The sleds we're going to see, he was 22nd after the end of the first heat. As we go to break, take a look at the way these guys drive these sleds. It's not the guy who drives the most that wins. It's the guy who drives the least. Stay with us.
If you have serious credit card debt, you could legally reduce your monthly payments by up to 52% by calling this toll-free hotline. Call in the next 5 minutes and you'll get a free calling card when you sign up. Call 1-800-766-0834.
Property overgrown? Call 1-800-613-8282 for your free catalog on the amazing DER Field and Brush Mower. There's never been an easier way to clear weeds and brush. So call 1-800-613-8282 today.
For 17 days, across 7 countries, in conditions beyond imagination, a race pitting man and machine against Mother Nature. Dakar Rally. Over 500 cars, trucks, and bikes will cover 6,500 miles of African deserts in an ultimate test of endurance, strength, and skill. The only network to cover all 17 grueling stages is Speed Channel. Dakar Rally. Daily coverage continues tonight at 7:30 exclusively on Speed.
Go interactive with Dish On Demand Pay-Per-View. Tune to Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100 and select Pay-Per-View. Get enhanced information about movies, sports, and events currently available for the first time on TV. You can even order while you're there. It's a free service that's easy and convenient to use. Sit back and simplify your life from the comfort of your couch. It's Dish On Demand Pay-Per-View on Dish Home Interactive TV.
If you, like me, are diabetic, I have some great news for you. Medicare will now pay for your diabetic supplies, and you can get them faster and easier than ever before.
Preferred RX is all about saving you time, money, and hassles. We'll take care of everything, even filing your Medicare claims and shipping.
And our certified diabetes educator is available to answer your questions. Give us a call. I know you'll be glad you did.
Preferred RX will ship your diabetic supplies directly to your home with no upfront costs. Call today.
Welcome back to Speed Channel's coverage of World Cup bobsledding. 23 sleds, 14 nations on hand. At their last race, though, we didn't have one. It was canceled in Winterberg, Germany, after 3 sleds down the track, wet snow conditions. Not many bobsled races get canceled, and the World Cup leader thought it was a good idea.
Das Wetter ist scheiße, aber die Entscheidung ist gut.
And if you speak German, he says the weather was suspect and the decision was good. They'll make that race up at another stop later on in the season. Now, our first competitor from Switzerland, one of the Rugs. There's a couple Rugs in the competition. We see 3 Swiss sleds today. Rado Rug is the pilot of this one. Tommy Herzog, Andreas Skirl, and Kareem Monday driving one of these Dresden sleds. You'll see a lot of Dresden sleds out here. Dresden's a former East German aircraft factory that, after they stopped doing MiG, started building sleds. Here's the way we're going to run things in the second run. According to the run result in the first heat, 15th place to 1, 16th to the end. We're going to see the 15th to 1. Here's the jury. The guys like the NASCAR officials, they run the races. Disqualified Todd Hayes in the first event of the year. There's been a couple other people thrown out of the competition. These sleds are very much like NASCAR. They've standardized them to make them equal for everybody. Here's the sled specs, the length, the width, height. Got to be a maximum weight. So the heavier the guys, the lighter the sled to push. But of course, the heavy guys got to push a fast sled. This is it, your 4-man start. It's everything in bobsledding, especially on this track. Really on any track, you can't have a start. If you don't have a start time, you can't be competitive. See that 49 clicks right there? 49 kilometers, that's about 30.2 miles an hour. That's the big telltale sign. Anybody that gets above 50 kilometers or 31 miles an hour are people with good starts. But after the start, then you got to get in the sled. Sit down, we say, with cat-like movements, let the sled accelerate, and the drivers up here, no steering. And you've got to be pretty brave not to steer on this track. 115 kilometers, that's about 72.6 miles an hour. Another good telltale sign. And this is where everybody crashes. We saw Christoph Langen just crash there in the first heat. Here on the exit, going uphill a little bit, 123 kilometers an hour. It's about 78 miles an hour. And they'll scream a little bit more speed into the finish, through and down. That's our first guy down. 55.22. He had a 55.27 in the first heat. And good drive, start time. Boy, we're going to see people way better than that. We're going to see people in the high teens, mid-teens. That's not a very good start time. The Swiss used to have the best starts. But here, this is testing the sleds. Look at the articulation on the sled. Look at the way that's split in that cowling. Wow, that's unbelievable. You're going to see that all day. And look how gentle they are with the equipment. They don't want those runners to get scratched up. Now, up at the top of the track, the Italian hope of the 2006 Winter Olympic Games, Fabrizio Tosini. And they've spent a lot of money on these guys. Romani, Lagrassa, and Sacco on the brakes. Pretty young team, except for Tosini. He's been out here for 5-6 years. Look at the little spikes in the front of the shoes. That's how they get the grip on the ice. Specially made Adidas shoes. He's driving a Prusas sled from Latvia. Sandis Prusas, his coach, is a Latvian, retired last year. Former great and guy who knows how to build equipment. And he's now the coach of the Italians. And the Italians are hoping that magic that they hired him for will carry over before the 2006 games. Tosini, 5:27 start. And watch the speed on the left. There, he's got that 50-kilometer speed we speak of. And you know, one thing is to push, but then you got to get in. And you got to sit down. You can erase that great start time by not getting in right there on that first corner. So keep our eyes on combination of the start and that first speed trap. 1500's the last clock. Skid, 21. Better speed, 115 kilometers. That's about 73. Speeds are about equal. He's got quite a bit of time there. Down to 21. About 73. He's got a skid right here. He's going to need everything in the bank. Big articulation skid there. Pretty good speed, though. He's been pretty well all over this track. This should be our leader. Couple tenths lead going in. He does. Loses a little time on the bottom to the Swiss. And there's Prusas on the left. He's happy. His team's through and down. And they're the top of the leaderboard. More on speed after this.
You can get a new garage or backyard workshop delivered to your door because for the first time, you can get American Steel Span direct from the factory.
My building went up in no time. And when you deal directly with the factory, you save a lot of money.
I love the strength of the building. It's maintenance free, and me and a couple buddies put it up in one weekend.
They go up easy. 2 guys, 1 weekend, and you're done.
Our building is so spacious. My husband has his workshop, and there's even room for my home office.
You'll save a lot when you buy your American Tough American Steel Span garage or workshop with a 25-year all-weather guarantee.
American Steel Span is the best bang for the buck in small buildings.
For 38 years, we've guaranteed steel buildings for the military, for farmers, and for truckers. And this is the first time that you can buy an American Steel Span garage or workshop directly from our factory.
Pick up the phone and get your free instant expert building planning kit. And if you're among the first 200 callers, we'll send you a savings certificate worth up to $5,000.
When they're gone, they're gone.
I'm a control freak, and I wouldn't want to do anything like smoking where I may not be in control of myself. It's an addictive habit. If you want to be rebellious and you want to do something different from what all the other kids do, just find something you have a passion in, like sports, and push yourself as far as you can. Bobsledding is fast. It's exhilarating. You're going 85 miles an hour, pulling up to 4 or 5 G. My goal is a gold medal in 2002.
Hi, Dave Despain here on the voicemail for Wind Tunnel, reminding you that we will be coming back live for 04 January 26th. In the meantime, I'm off to ride my motorcycle. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Speed Channel. From Altenberg, Germany, the NASCAR winner. Our next competitors from Latvia, Gaddis Guts. Great result yesterday in the two-man competition, 5th place. His best result of the year, something you expect out of this guy. He's had terrible results in North America. He's got a Dresden 4-man sled. Latvians have a combination of different manufacturers of their equipment. Another Latvian sled coming up, Jānis Minis. After this, pretty good start in the first heat, 5:22, but he's in 13th place. There's the Italians at the bottom. Tosini, he's our leader. These guys are pretty close in time. A couple hundred separate him. Well, the better start time. He's now got 400 lead. He's got that magic 50-kilometer speed, but he's in a big skid. That is not the way to go fast. Tosini got a 0.2 of a kilometer better. That was before that skid. That -4 is up to +8. Boy, that's a major mistake by Gaddis Guts. These 4-man sleds, they go a lot straighter than the 2-mans. Those 2-mans are like sports cars. The 4-mans are like a truck. It's easier to get that 2-man into a skid, but you could bring it back out of the skid a little quicker. These 4-mans, hard to get them into a skid, but once they get into that skid, it's hard bringing them out, as we saw what happened to Christoph Long out of Germany earlier. Look at this. That 2100's all relative to that mistake up top, where you have to allow that sled to accelerate and the Italians to move up one more spot, and they like it. This is really important to them, and the Latvian coaches, they don't like that. This Gaddis Guts made a drive in there you don't expect out of a guy with 5 years experience in the World Cup circuit. He knows it, just leaves his head hanging. Now up the top of the track, a Russian team, Evgeny Popov. Look at this team from Moscow to Vladivostok. These guys ran into a serious problem last year. He had a horrific crash in this track, much like Christoph Longen in 12. And Popov was a guy that was really making some inroads in the sport. And he went to the hospital. You see him walking out right now. His brakeman went to the hospital. Popov didn't recover. Went from there home for Christmas, never saw him again. Serious concussion problems. There's our standings. But he's back. He's been creeping back up the standings. There's the Italians. Tosini on the right. Sacco in the middle is the brakeman, little tiny brakeman on the back of the sled for the Italians. Popov used to have the Russian #1 team. He's been hanging out with the Russian #2. Doesn't get as good a starts as the other Russian team we're going to see. 5:20 in the first heat. He's got 500 lead. Should get a better start than Tosini. Yeah, 5:20 in the first heat, 5:20 in the second heat. They got 1100s. They got 50.6 kilometers. All things being equal, if he allows his sled to accelerate, he should be our leader at the bottom, unless he starts to make some driving errors. And we're going to need see some speed here. Now at -11's -13. Good sign. Exit of 9. Is it going to be smooth? Bang. Down to 7. 114 kilometers. That's not the same speed the Italians had. They had 115 kilometers, which is about 73. Dropping more speed, doesn't have 122 kilometers. And the Russians, not looking good, up to +4. Doesn't have, he's got 123 kilometers, but I think he lost too much time in the middle part of the track. And the Italians blow somebody else off. Russian coaches, that's a driving error right there. When you have that type of speed up top with a better start, you have 1100s, you should be able to arrive at the bottom with the best time, but someplace up here he made a mistake. There's our standings. Mistake right here on 9. More bobsledding on speed after this.
Oh, I shouldn't have to sell a kidney to get a new PC.
No worries. Over here.
Gateway presents the We've Got PC Savings Coming Out Our USB Ports event. Call now to replace your PC with a new Gateway for under $500, or get your savings to go with a mobile M305X notebook for under $800. It features the fast Intel Celeron processor, CD burner DVD combo, and $200 back. Call 1-800-555-2081 and go mobile for less.
My friends say I'm obsessed, that I spend way too much time and energy on this relationship.
I try to let my honey shine. But if I don't do things just right, there can be this spot on what we have together.
You one of these people? You need help. From Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean Auto Dry Car Wash. It's the revolutionary new way to wash your car. Mr. Clean Auto Dry Car Wash gives your baby an absolutely spot-free clean and shine with no need to dry. It uses a specially formulated soap that features an advanced dry rinse polymer, so rinse water sheets off your car for fast drying. Combine that with filter technology from the makers of Pure that removes from the rinse water the minerals and impurities that cause spots, and you get a clean, shiny ride completely spot-free, with no need to dry, even on windows. Mr. Clean guarantees a spot-free clean without hand drying or your money back.
Visit this website to get a coupon for $5 off Mr. Clean Auto Dry Car Wash. You'll also get a second $5 off coupon to give to a friend.
Never dry your car again. Mr. Clean Auto Dry Car Wash.
Tonight on Speed at 7, Speed News Sunday. Then at 7:30, the most extreme endurance race, Dakar Rally, draws to a close. To Dakar, the finish. And starting at 8, Victory by Design. Catch it all tonight, only on Speed.
Welcome back to Altenberg, Germany. Good crowd on hand, as usual. Our next competitor is Martin Annen, Switzerland. 29 years old from Arth. He's one of the top competitors from Switzerland, bronze medalist in the two-man competition. But here yesterday on this track, the German juggernaut Andre Lange continued. In the last 7 races in two-man bob, he's got 4 golds, 2 silvers, and 1 7th place. He slipped up in Calgary, but he's been on some roll, this young former East German. Now back to the competition, Martin Annen. Swiss precision timing. Swiss precision starts. Now, 5:24 in the first heat, 5:25 in the second heat. The Swiss used to dominate the sport with superior start times. They don't anymore, and that's why they're struggling to get on the podium. Hasn't been a Swiss medal yet, and we're in our 4th event of the year. They had a bad drought at the end of the year also. And he's got only 900s now, so he's going to have at least that much here in the exit. 12, good sign, big speed. It's above 115, 74, 73.5 miles an hour. How is he in 11 and 12? Up to 16, 122.5, 77 miles an hour. Better speed, better time. Martin Annen looking like he'll be our leader. Getting near the finish at this speed, he should carry it. He does. He accelerates. Great run for Martin Annen, 54.89 compared to the first run of 55-16. Boy, this track's getting faster, or Annan had a bad first heat, one of the two. That was a good run down the track for Switzerland, Martin Annan. Good crowd on hand, as I mentioned. These Germans love their bobsledding. Swiss know it, they're our leaders. Watch this Kreisel, watch this exit of Kreisel. Little bang there, good speed, yeah, best speed on the bottom, had the same speed as Tassini. All three of them, in fact, have the same speed. That's a pivotal part of that track, that exit of Kreisel. And he's happy to be down, and he's our leader. Back up to the top of the track. From Innsbruck, it's Wolfgang Stampfler and the Stampfler team. Prohler, been around a long time, these guys. Klaus Sikos, Jürgen Meyer, 5:23 in the first heat. He's going to need at least a 5:23 to challenge. 5:27. That's an inconsistency in bobsledding you can't have. If you've got a 5:23 in that first heat, unless that track's basically slow at the top, you should have at least that in the second heat. A lot of the good teams will go faster. And now with that deficient start time, he's got to have a perfect drive down below. Now it's only 6. And in the first heat, he had 1,300ths lead on the guy. So that 13's down to 6. Bad skid there. It's down to 4. Decent speed. Going to be clean down here at an exit of curve 10. Not. 11 and 12. Doesn't have that 122 kilometers. He's going to be scrambling here in the bottom to maintain his place. Up to +2. Good speed. Not going to be enough, though. There it is, +8, +2, +8. Fingernail is about 100th of a second. And considering the start time, that wasn't a good drive down the track for Stampfler. He knows it. What do I do? Where do I find 8 more hundredths of a second? Pretty frustrating sometimes. Here he is, exit at 9. Look at the runner tips. He lets that sled go over there, bump, then it comes straight. You can do that with those two-mans. Look at the speed difference, though. Half a kilometer behind Annan, that's where he lost it on that exit. Disgusted. Well, another Swiss up here. Another one of them Rugs. Ivo and Redo, a couple brothers from Switzerland. I used to race against their father, actually, and they also had an uncle I raced against. A Reich sled, Christian Reich. He's coaching the Monaco team. Finished his career with Switzerland at the 2002 Games in Salt Lake City. Had a bronze medal in the two-man competition. Ivo had the better start time, 5:18 of this compared to Martin Annan. And believe me, there's no love lost between that Swiss team at the bottom and this one at the top. The only thing separating these guys right now is 1,500ths of a second. And Ivo Rug would love nothing else better to do than beat his countryman at the bottom. Same thing in auto racing. You might have guys in the same team, but they want to beat each other. 5:24. Big inconsistency there too. But he's still got a good load in the sled. You can have that start time. In fact, that's one of the better start times. There's our standings. Start time combination with that speed, that's the indicator we talk about. Wow. 1,500s up to 22. Now the exit. How straight? Pretty clean there. Still 22. 115.9. Almost 116 kilometers. Almost 74 miles an hour. How was he here in 11 and 12? Smooth. Big speed. 123 kilometers. As he goes to the bottom here, this could be a big day for Ivo Rug, beating Martin Annan. He's Swiss 1, Rug Swiss 2, and he beats him considerably, quarter of a second. This is a big deal for them. They might not get a podium finish, but this means a lot to these guys going back to Switzerland. He knows it. Might be the first time he's ever beaten Martin Annan. Okay, key for him, speed all the way down the track. Top 7 sleds yet to come on speed. Stay with us.
batteries with spiral cell AGM technology offer twice the life and more than 15 times the vibration resistance of ordinary batteries. In fact, the spill-proof six-pack design is tough enough to outlast practically everything, including your vehicle. Optima, the ultimate power source.
Tuner transformation, broken spoke journeys, behind the headlights, sports car revolution, Barrett Jackson car search, chop cut rebuild, American muscle car specials, all new. Speed original productions coming in February.
Now playing on pay-per-view. The guy next door gets a shot at being the man upstairs.
This should certainly spice things up a bit.
Jim Carrey stars in his funniest comedy ever. I better manifest some coffee.
Hola, Juan Valdez.
Bruce Almighty. Now playing on pay-per-view.
K1 presents the Battle of the Rising Sun. Watch the explosions in the ring blow by blow as Japan's martial arts elite take on the world fighter by fighter. Dwayne Ludwig, USA, rising knockout star. Albert Kraus, the Netherlands, supreme technical fighter. Masato, Japan, combat legend. Brace yourself for the battle. Order the Battle of the Rising Sun. Order Battle of the Rising Sun.
Final 8 sleds here on Speed Channel's coverage of World Cup bobsledding. Bruno Mangione from AIM, world champion in '99, bronze medalist in '98, four-man bobsledding. And this is one of the few guys that's got this eye-hand coordination out here that you're born with. Then you develop that talent. His only problem is 36, gives up a lot of time at the start. If he had a better start time, he'd be right in there, 5:33. You need low 20s, high teens. Now you saw the speed. Well, it doesn't matter how far you run. Then getting in, too. If you don't have the power at the blocks, at least get in, get that accelerator. Mother Nature provides you in these sleds. Nice 1600s down. That's all relative to the start. They'll deteriorate more at the next clock. His only chance, he wants to have 116 kilometers if he's got a chance here. 115.4, not really. Next clock, if he has a chance, 122.5 kilometers, he may be 122.2, no, 2500s down. He might get some of this back, but he's gonna run out of track. Smooth run, 28, not much more. He needs about 200 more meters, he could probably do it. 33, didn't have it, not his day. He won a World Cup last year in Le Plan, France. Won another medal in St. Moritz, Switzerland. Not today. Bruno Mangione can only look on. You got to watch out there. That's a real steep exit of the track there. If you don't put the brakes on, you'll go right back down. Giannis Minnis, 23 years old. Youngest guy in the competition next to Stevie Holcomb of the United States. 7th place, heading to the first heat. And this young Latvian, a lot of promise for him. Here's one of those BTC Latvian sleds. This is a technology company up there that's put together this sled. And these Latvians are real psyched about this guy. Remember, the former Latvian Giannis Sandis Prusas now coaches the Italians. He retired last year, so all the hopes lie in his hands. And Gaddis Goods, who's already down the track. Here's a front rear angle combo of the start. Look at the way they get in. Precision starts. Get in, get down. Now him and the Ivo Rug at the bottom. 20/100ths lead. This is a great run right now. Good start. That was the key. Oh! Exit, curve 9. He's over. Faster than he's ever been before in this track. Looked like a smooth run. And then again, you can't practice for record speed. Look at the Latvian coaches, look on. And now they got to go the whole length of this track upside down. I'm telling you, I've been in these sleds. When you've been upside down, the sounds of that aerodynamic fiberglass Kevlar cowlings, the sound is magnified. You're holding in there. You don't want to get out. You stay in there in a little cocoon type position. I'll tell you something, it is horrific. Another thing, you cannot practice for a crash. You can't practice for record speed. and your athletic instincts take over. And boy, some guys panic, and sometimes you get more hurt trying to get out of these sleds than staying in. One guy's up and running. One guy's up and out of the sled. Now we want to see 4 bodies here. The driver usually gets the worst. He's not holding on with anything other than his feet and his rear end. He's holding on to the D-rings or the steering ropes. Second hand, 3 people moving. Ambulance right there on the spot. There's the brakeman, McManus. He used to be on Preuss's crew. And the smell. These suits are rubber suits and they smell. Look at them. There's 3 guys up. Looks like everybody's out of the sled. Here he is on the exit of 9. Look how high he is. He wasn't steering. That's his problem. Didn't steer the sled off the corner. Bang! That's what they wear helmets for in this sport. Boy, a lot like auto racing. Sometimes it looks a lot worse than it is. Good to see all 4 guys are up. There he is again. Look at the sled coming right at us. Oh. Dangerous sport. Look at the heads upside down. That's not the way you want to look at a bobsled track, I can tell you that. They still got 50, 60 miles an hour speeds going upside down this track. All 4 athletes have got up and walked away. There's Minnis. He looks more disgusted than hurt. More on speed after this.
It's simple, really. If we could get everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu Max, we think they'd agree. It's just about perfect. The new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
The promotion, a new title, a bigger paycheck, better days ahead. Your hard work paid off, and so did that extra confidence from getting rid of your gray hair with Just for Men hair color. Its vitamin formula rejuvenates your hair and energizes you with a natural look in 5 easy minutes. When you feel confident, it shows. Just for Men, the Rejuvenator. And now, try a temporary version of Just for Men free.
You can see what you'd look like without gray and go back to the way you were just as fast.
Introducing Tryout from Just for Men. It's free and it's easy. Just comb it in, check it out, rinse the color out. Like the look of Tryout? Then get the same look with regular Just for Men. Call toll-free 1-888-819-9229. Get your free sample now.
Smoking is not a normal, natural function. Putting a fire in your face and breathing the smoke in is something we would normally try to avoid. You gotta ask yourself why current smokers tell non-smokers not to start. There's a reason for it. They get hooked. They can't stop. They don't like it. They want to quit. They spend the rest of their lives trying to quit. Tobacco companies want to make smoking look cool, but it's not cool. What is cool is bringing the best out in yourself, rising to your potential and accomplishing something real.
Welcome back to Altenberg, Germany. Speed Channel's coverage of World Cup bobsledding. Hi, everybody. I'm John Morgan. Our next sled, the final 6 sleds. Russian number 1, Zubkov. He's the guy we're talking about. It's been coming on. World Cup medal at the first race in Calgary, driving one of the Dresden technology sleds. Just saw a horrific crash from Jānis Minnis from Latvia. Can report all 4 athletes are fine. The leaders at the bottom, courtesy of that crash, are Swiss number 2, Raider Rug, and Zubkov, who's got one of the best starts on the hill, 5:16 in the first run. You expect him to blow this out of here. They start stacking themselves up. A lot of what we call a lot of football mentality in here. A lot of power, speed, and explosion. Ready, set, hot. Very similar type cadence, countdowns. Listen. Explosion off the block. Now you can run as far as you want, but you got to get in. And these things are hard to get into. 5:08, wow. Watch this speed, 50.7. That's the best speed. Wow, they had 5:16 in the first run. They must have had a problem in that first run. There's the standings. 2 Swiss top the leaderboard. Start times like that, I don't expect to see any Swiss top the leaderboard after this. Zubkov just threw it out of the blocks. Best start of the day. Watch this speed. He looks smooth there. 114.9. No, that's not the 115-kilometer speeds we've seen, about 74. Watch the articulation here. That's a pretty smooth transition through that tough 11-12 combination. 15. So he's losing time back. The question is, how much? Swiss had better speed in the bottom, down to 3. Wow, the Swiss needed about 25 more meters out of the Russians. But the Russians, superior start time. But Zubkov didn't have a great ride down the track. I don't know if that's going to allow him to move up. There he is in Kreisel. Watch this exit out of Kreisel here. Boy. Pretty straight right down that middle, but look at the speed. Considerably off the pace compared to Ralph Rube. And the Swiss know it. But he had all that start time up top, losing by 300ths of a second. Oh. Zubkov loves it. Now, first of a couple Germans. Matthias Hoffner, 28 years old from Riesa. This is his home track. A couple brothers in the back, the Barukas. Marco Kuhn on the ride number 2. There you see the sled, FES Berlin. You'll see a couple of them. Rennie Spiess brought another German who's injured at the moment. Brought that technology company into the mix. They're involved with trains and buses and bobsleds. Provide a lot of technology to the German team. Hopter, if you remember, former broadcast and speed channel, Lake Placid event, we talked about him needing a good result to maintain a status on the German team. And what did he do? He went out and got a bronze medal. Wow, this is going to be close. He's going to have to drive perfect lines down here in the bottom to beat Zubkov. This is tight. And he bangs there. But 115 kilometers. The first guy to almost get that 116-kilometer mark, 74 miles an hour. More speed, up to 23. Wow, this Matthias Hoffner has got a great run. He had a bad start position in the first heat, started almost 20th, and now he is just blowing away the rest of the field. This is a great run from Matthias Hoffner, almost a half second. And listen to the German crowd. This is a local kid, and he's been wallowing in the back of the German program, had a chance to come out, and wow, he's got it. Can do no worse than 5th, but that's a great run. Wow, I can't tell you. You win by 4,300, so the guy that you were just about tied with, he either had a bad heat or you had a tremendous heat. Looks like number 2, Mark Kuhn's hurt. He's sitting on the wall. Here we are in speeds 4, we call it. Look at the runner tips. They're straight. Look at the speed. He had the best speed. He's got the best time. And he loves that home crowd. Now back up to the top for the surprise. Ivo Delanovic, Czech Republic. Kosak Gamola, Jan Kobian on the brakes. Big surprise. Well, the surprise here was he drew number 1, and he took advantage of that fresh ice. And this is his best finish in a single heat of bobsledding ever. One of the Dresden sleds. This is only like 7 miles from the Czech border, a couple hours from Prague. 5:18 start in the first heat. Biggest heat of Ivo Delanovic's life. 5:19. Gonna have to be perfect. 50.5. That's acceptable. That means they got in the sled without altering the speed. Not easy getting into those things, let me tell you. But he's already 600s down on the German at the bottom. Gonna need perfect exit. Remember the speeds that Hoffner had, and that's not perfect. Up to 13. Remember, the other German had 115.9 kilometers, and he's 1.5 kilometers down. Mile an hour down at the halfway part of the track. Now 121.6. No, this isn't going to do it for Delanovic. Just the question now is how many places is he going to fall? Germans know they've reeled one in. They need one more to have a chance to win a medal. They got it. 4,500s down to the Germans. And Ivo drops 2 places. Still, great finish for the Czech, 6th place. That might be his best finish ever in a World Cup bobsled competition. Well, it's all about speed, and this is not the way to get speed, driving it into the wall. And there's the speed before the Kreisel. Hofner had the best speed with the Swiss, and he's the one more spot, he gets a medal. Czechs are happy, best result ever. Up next, the United States, Todd Hayes. He's going for a medal. Stay with us on Speed Channel.
Call now for your free copy of Car and Driver, the world's largest automotive magazine, with fact, opinion, and tests on the hottest new luxury cars, sports cars, exotics, pickups, vans, and sport utilities. Call now and get your introductory copy risk-free. If you like it, you'll get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for only $11.97. 72% off the newsstand cost. We'll bill you later. If you choose not to subscribe, just return the bill marked cancel. You'll owe nothing. Call now for your free introductory issue.
Tonight on Speed at 7, Speed News Sunday. Then at 7:30, the most extreme endurance race, Dakar Rally, draws to a close. To Dakar, the finish. And starting at 8, Victory by Design. Catch it all tonight, only on Speed.
Hang on to your couch. You know that Dish Network offers you hundreds of channels to choose from. Now we have a great way for you to see just the channels that are important to you. Favorites lists. You can create a personalized guide that only displays your favorite channels. And they're so easy to set up. Press Menu, select Favorites, and then pick out the channels you love. Then simply press Guide a few times to reach your list. There it is, a channel lineup just for you.
I was tired of working in kitchens and warehouses, making minimum wage. I needed a career change. I decided to go to ITT Tech. I think it may have been the best decision I ever made. Now I have a career instead of just a job. I'm confident about my future. I no longer have to live with the constant uncertainty of going from paycheck to paycheck. I'm finally feeling free.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future.
For information, call 1-800-338-4715.
Up next, USA 1, Todd Hayes, Brock Kreutzberg, Bill Schupenhauer, Steve Messler. We asked Todd Hayes if that crash in the first run by Langen bothered him.
I don't think so. We know the crashing's part of racing. You know, those things happen, and you know you got to work through it.
Well, good answer. U.S. sleds built by Jeff Bodine. Started that program in '92. The reason why the USA's had so much success the last 3 or 4 years is because of this Jeff Bodine bobsled program. He got sick of seeing the Americans driving European equipment. Now 10 years later, great success from the American program. The Germans at the bottom. Hayes got a 600th lead. Hayes had a good start in the first run. Gonna need it here again. 5:11, 5:12. Consistency, speed, 50.6, no, 51.1. No one's had that type of speed. Clear advantage for Todd Hayes, but he had problems up top in the first run. Didn't have a great speed at the next trap. Leads me to believe he made a mistake. Well, now that Bodine sled's accelerating up to 11. Exit of 9. Look at the runner tips. Bang, into that wall. Oh, it must have lost a full tenth. Look at that. He's a kilometer down to the Germans at the bottom. Another bang. That doesn't have 122 kilometers. Now it's +9. He's lost 2/10 in the last 20 seconds. That's a lot of time. Now the question is, how much more is he going to drop? Germans are looking at it. They can smell it. This will be Matthias Hofner's medal spot. Look at that. Hayes lost time all the way down the track. He can finish no worse than 4th. Needs one of the other sleds to fall behind him to have a chance to win the medal. Altenberg's not his favorite track, and you get out of here in the 2-man with a 9th place finish. 4-man is 4th, very respectable. But you can tell the big Texan from Del Rio ain't very happy with that run. Here he is, speed's 4, part of the course. Look at the skid going across that ice. Look at the speed difference. 1.5 kilometers, a full mile per hour. And look at Matthias Hoffner and team celebrate a bronze medal, their second of the season. Todd Hayes can only reflect what happened, but he's safe and down, and he's done with Altenberg for the season. Now another North American top of the track, Pierre Lueders, Alan Huff, Ken Kolek, and Giulio Zardo. Wow. 5:16 start in the first heat. This is a young team. Another one of them Dresden sleds. Lueders, top of the World Cup standings in two-man bobsled. Pretty impressive to see two North American sleds in the top 4. There's our standings. Lueders 5:16 first run. Didn't get down real smooth, 5:17 in that run. 51, look at that, no speed. Not only was that not a good start, they must have had a bad load. They got in late, and they didn't have any good speed going around that first curve. Now the next clock, not a lot of time separating any of these 3 sleds. That's up to +5. Pierre Lueders now has to have a perfect line. Exit right here. Can he come straight at us? Look at the rudder tips. That's pretty good. Big speed, 115.2, but the German had 115.9. Not bad there in the exit, 122, 2100's down. Though, sometimes when you're that smooth, you aren't that fast. Lueders, more known as a better two-man driver than 4, and this is going to be close. Probably not going to beat Hoffner. The question is he going to beat the Americans? No! United States guaranteed a bronze medal. Canadians dropped 2 places. Canadian coaches look on. They can only reflect. Look at Lueders. What happened? What happened? So Lueders knows that he can do no worse than 4th, but with Andre Lange coming up, probably threw away a medal there. But the United States, Todd Hayes did get a medal. So Hayes now with a silver and bronze in 3 competitions. The other competition in Calgary, he was disqualified for being overweight. And now, top of the track, hometown guy, Andre Lange of Germany, Kevin Kuska, Rennie Hoppe, Lars Bernhardt. These guys have only won the last 3 four-man races of the season. They were the 2002 Olympic gold medalists from Salt Lake. They're on their home track, driving one of those FES Berlin sleds. Well, look how sleek that thing looks. All this guy does is win. Al Davis, just win, baby. He'd love this guy. 5:10 start in the first run. Won the World Championships on this track in 2000. 5:11 start. Doesn't have that speed, 50.8. Now the United States had 51 plus. So that could be something about his load. This guy though, he's got eye hands that not a lot of people possess. Speed, top of the track. We've seen it. How smooth is he here? No, drives it into the wall. 2,500's lead, 115.3. Not the same clicks as Matthias Hoffner, but he's got a lot of time in the bank. Only disaster down here. Doesn't have any type of speed that Hoffner, Hayes had. If he's got 2/10 here, 15. He's dropping more. Pretty good on the bottom, 123, but that's not going to be enough. Going to be close. Wow, 700ths. Hoffner with a silver medal. Best result ever for him. But for Andre Lange, he's won 4 straight gold medals. He hasn't lost since last January in St. Moritz. Now, when you consider he's also won 3 golds, 2 silvers, and a 7th in the last 2-man races, 6 2-man races. Here, 4 straight 2-man or 4-man golds. Wow, the guy's got a lot of hardware hanging around his neck. Here's our final results. Wins only by 700ths. USA's Todd Hayes, 3rd place, bronze medal for him. Bruno Menjean, not happy with the 9th place. Stampfer still looking for his best finish of the year. And there's the rest of the field, but the story of the day, as it has been in 4-man bobsledding, is this guy, Andre Lange. He's won 4 straight gold medals. Interviews on Speed Channel after this.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Susan. I'm Frank's friend, Steve.
Of course you are.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. dinner's almost ready.
Oh, I thought we were going out. I made reservations.
Oh, no, I made lasagna. Oh, don't worry, I used soy cheese because I know that you're lactose intolerant.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, try this on.
Wow, you made this for me?
Yeah, I learned how to knit online. It's really no big deal. And these, and this. Okay, let's go meet my parents.
Special treatment. Bad idea for blind dates, good idea for online trading. Ameritrade Apex is our premier active trading program. Get special benefits like the latest trading tools, access to exclusive webcasts, and discounts on research products.
Hi, Steve.
Sign up now and get $100 if you qualify for Apex, plus 25 commission-free internet equity trades. Go to ameritrade.com/apex/ or call 866-368-4610.
I'm a control freak, and I wouldn't want to do anything like smoking where I may not be in control of myself. It's an addictive habit. If you want to be rebellious and you want to do something different from what all the other kids do, just find something you have a passion in, like sports, and push yourself as far as you can. Bobsledding is fast. It's exhilarating. You're going 85 miles an hour, pulling up to 4 or 5 G. My goal is a gold medal in 2002.
Here's a car that's got it all. And boy, did this car deliver on the track.
Victory by design, tonight, exclusively on Speed.
NASCAR Preseason Thunder on Speed. It's the final shakedown before the new season begins. NASCAR Preseason Thunder, tonight, 6 Eastern, only on Speed.
Great bobsled race here in Altenberg. Here's our World Cup standings. Andre Lange, Germany. He's their leader. He's won 4 straight times now. Last 4 four-man races. He's been the king of the hill. Todd Hayes, only 2 results. He's in 7th place. Remember, he got disqualified in that first race in Calgary.
Okay, we're down here in Altenberg with the top 3 finishers. We've got Todd Hayes right here. Todd, are you happy about your 3rd place?
Absolutely. Considering my past results here, 3rd place is great for us today.
Well, congratulations, and see you in St. Moritz, okay? Good. So, 2nd place, Matthias Höpfner, very strong finish. Matthias,
Hi.
Gratulationen, super Finish von 5 auf 2, Ihr bestes Resultat. Was sagen Sie dazu?
Ja, wir sind unwahrscheinlich happy. Die Jungs haben einen fantastischen Job gemacht oben am Start. Die Fahrten waren einigermaßen in Ordnung und Material hat gepasst, schönes Wetter, tolle Leute, tolle Fans. Fantastisch.
Yes, Matthias is very happy about his finish. Of course, he said his team was fantastic. He said he had 2 great runs. The track was fantastic, great weather. And yes, he is very happy. 1st place goes to Andre Lange. Andre's finished top 4 in the last 4 races. First in the last 4 races. Andre, sensationelles Finish. 4-mal 1. Platz jetzt in Reihe. Wer kann Sie stoppen?
Auch es gibt einige. Es ist schade, dass der Christoph Lang heute ausgeschieden ist. Der hätte sicherlich auch gute Chancen gehabt, weil der 2. Lauf einfach nur schlecht war. Aber es hat Gott sei Dank gereicht. Ich wünsche allen frohe Weihnachten und einen guten Rutsch ins neue Jahr. Ja! Tschüss!
Congratulations, Andre Lange. He says he's, of course, the crash Christoph Langen did take a bit out of the competition, but he's very happy and he wishes everyone Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, the German juggernaut, Andre Lange. Can anybody stop him? Next up, the World Cup will go to St. Moritz, Switzerland. Make sure you stay with us. Great bobsled action here in Speed Channel. For all my FIBT television friends, I'm John Morgan. Thanks for looking in. See you next time.